back. The time is now.
Everybody, welcome to NUFC Talk TV. Welcome. We got a good show ahead of. We got a good show today. Welcome to the channel. Smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Become a member if you can. Super chat if you want to. Help us grow the channel. We're going to talk about Wissa's injury. We're going to talk about the stadium. We're going to talk about the confidential from Craig Hope is really good. A lot of information. The Saudis will delay the announcement of a new stadium. We're going to see what they wanted to announce: a CEO, a DOF, in that order, and then the stadium. The training ground first, and then a stadium. They try to buy a training ground. Nothing is going there. The land is too expensive. But we're going to talk about that, of course. UN Wissa is a big deal. Voltamara! He can score with his head, and don't allow Mighty Win tell you otherwise. He can score with his head. He's done it. But before that, Premier League.
Said he can't score with his head. All he said was that out of all of his goals, only 4 of them have been with his head. 5 now. Thank the Lord.
There you go. And the Premier League has started, of course, with Arsenal Forest 3-0, Bournemouth, Brighton 2-1, and Newcastle United, which we're going to obviously focus on, 1-0 against Wolves, Everton 0-0, Crystal Palace, Sunderland 0-0, Fulham Leeds 1-0, Fulham to Leeds, and we couldn't beat Leeds. Okay. West Ham versus Tottenham 3-0, losing West Ham United with a red card included. Brentford, Chelsea 2-2. Burnley, Liverpool. Lucky Liverpool once again. You can't count on luck, but luck counts. Unbelievable.
Liverpool.
At the end, 1-0 win Liverpool, and 4 out of 4. Fans should be happy, but I don't think this is sustainable. Regardless, the derby of Manchester ended on a interesting. The boxer passed away, and he was a Mancunian, and I think he was a City fan. The big boxer, rest in peace, Hatton. And so 3-0 Man City. I mean, Man United got knackered. Quick and in a hurry. It was effortless by Man City, who was supposed to not.
Was it? Do you think so?
Oh, yeah. It was a, man.
I tell you what, and Brentwood could have had a hat-trick.
But that's what happens when you got a
Man United could have had 4 or 5.
No, man. Come on, man.
I'm telling you.
Give it a rest, man. Man United were not even thought of in this match. Not even thought of.
The scoreline suggests that, but if you watch the match, Man United had Man City are vulnerable.
Mate.
And Man United had a lot of chances. Fantastic save from Donnarumma when it counted.
And that just happens. That just means that Man United are that far below.
I do like your little
levels.
phrase, though, that I'd never heard before. You can't count on luck.
But luck counts.
Luck counts. I like
right.
that. I took that away.
Now you learn something, old man.
What exactly? If you don't learn something every day, it's a wasted day. And I did like that phrase.
Yeah. It is live, Harpo. It is live, man. It is live, of course. Always. The daily show is always live. The late night show is always live. By the way, tune in to NUFC Talk later on at 9:30 p.m. today. I see the chat scrolling, so please smash the like button. Janiesta Kenny, Harpo there, Brian Quinn, Trevor Arkle, first time seeing him. This is my opinion. I'm sure he put something else earlier on. So that was the recap there for the Premier League, and but Foden, really good header. I really like his goal, and Doku was untreatable. Doku was untreatable last night.
A magnificent goal, that, without a doubt.
Yeah, but Doku was left unanswered, and that was the issue, one of the main issues. But regardless,
I tell you what really boiled my piss about that, right? When they do the post match, so then they go to the stills, and they say, this defender should have done this, 2020 hindsight. And that Doku run and twist and turn and double hit, all that. And that's saying he should have, they do a freeze frame, he should have been there, he should have been there. What a load of nonsense. It was just a fantastic goal, fantastic bit of skill by Doku, and a brilliant header by Foden. And all reactive, instant sort of natural, spontaneous stuff that no defending in the world was going to stop. And then they tried to say he did that wrong. He should have been closer. He should have been there. 2020 hindsight. Utter bollocks. Just enjoy the goal for what it was.
There you go. Win telling you how to live like a proper fascist. Interesting. Anyway, smash the like button, folks. Don't forget to do that. It was a good goal anyway. That was a proper goal. And that goal by Haaland by himself, pool style, right into the bottom corner. You can tell he was gonna score. And Donnarumma, and it shows what a proper elite manager is. Doesn't matter if you've trained, if you haven't trained, if you come from wherever. You're a good player. You come in and you play, plain and simple. And he saved. Man City had one shot from Mbeumo was really good. I mean, it's an unbelievable stop. So you don't have to play. You don't have to train a year with the club before you start. You see, it happens. You just gotta. Sometimes you just gotta put players in, man. Let them figure it out.
You're talking about a goalkeeper.
I'm not talking about anybody. I'm anybody. No, proper players play. Proper players play. But it's all right, no big deal. Let's not argue already. Right. Let's not argue already. 7 minutes in.
Elite managers. This is what elite managers do. What a load of nonsense.
It isn't nonsense. What do you want to argue?
Elite
I'm talking about Pep Guardiola. I'm not talking about anybody else.
So he goes out, he buys arguably the best goalkeeper in the world, and he pays him wages to match that.
Yeah. So
he leaves the £27 million keeper that we could have had on the bench because he's got one of the best keepers in the world.
That's our fault as well because we kept going on and on and on.
He doesn't have to worry about nurturing a young goalkeeper through the process. They can just go and buy the finished article, easy peasy.
Well, I think that Trafford is got talent, and that he was thrown in there, and he didn't perform. But we could have got Trafford already, so that was our fault. And we let it linger too long, and they took him.
And we didn't. We kept Pope, and look what Pope did for.
Yeah, okay, that's good. Donnarumma and Pope on the same level. That's wonderful. I'm happy to learn that today. If you don't learn something every day, you're not. What is your phrase? If you don't learn something new every day. It's a wasted day. So okay, Pope and Donnarumma on the same level. That's something new that I'm learning.
That's
wonderful.
Not what I said at all.
All right, let's get into the news then. Let's get into the news, and folks, let us know what you think. Luke Shaw says. Somebody said something about Luke Shaw is an absolute bum though. Yeah. What's his name? The former England international. Maguire was knackered as well, man. But I don't. Is he still getting called for England? I doubt it. We got Big Dan Burr now for that. All right, so giving you a rundown then of the Premier League. Let's get started with Newcastle United news. Well, first of all, we got to talk about Wissa out for the scan revealing that he's going to be out for 4 to 5 weeks. That's a little over a month. Literally missing a lot. We got 7 games this month. We had counting Wolves. And the other, I think we played as well. No, we didn't, do we? International week. So it's a lot to say that you're going to play Voldemade for all of it. I think that he started on the right foot. But actually, let me get your thoughts on the game then, because you were there taking a nap. So from what you can remember, waking up from time to time, what do you think?
It was a typical Newcastle performance, wasn't it? We did everything right, but couldn't get the ball in the net. We start, as is often the case, how many times have we said it, and how many times have they actually scored when, in the first 4 or 5 minutes of both halves, usually, we end up being under the cosh for some reason or other, till we seem to get our thoughts together then, and then off we went. And it was one-way traffic, really, good enough performance. I thought Tonali was outstanding. Bruno was outstanding. Walter, people are going overboard because he scored and that, and I've been wanting him for years, as
going
you know.
Overboard.
No, because it wasn't all that, It was, you could see. I loved some of his footwork. but a couple of his little flicky passes were just basically anywhere. But no, I think you've, as I said, don't expect him to hit the ground running. Let's hope he does, which he has done. But just keep your powder dry a bit. He's not going to score every game. And if he hadn't scored yesterday, what would his mark have been? For me, it would have been about 6, maybe overall.
Obviously, you can't say without his goal.
The goal makes a difference. So,
but you cannot take that away. He's a striker, so yeah, goals make a difference.
And he has the problem. We're looking for a man in the box on half a dozen occasions. And
because he has to drive down the line.
He'd come back and good on him, he'd come back to get involved, to join in the play. But it meant that when we actually made the breakthrough, there was nobody in the box. And I don't know whether Eddie should be telling him, your job in the box, son, at the minute. Because if I think we'd had Wissa in the box, we might have scored a few more.
Well, I don't think it's a matter of.
I'm not complaining about what he's doing.
I don't think it's a matter of Wissa would have scored more goals, because Wissa would have had to do what Walter did, which is come down a lot to look for the ball.
Well, not if Walter was there, he wouldn't.
Yeah, but obviously, that's an obvious thing, because one has to be loose and the other one has to be in the box. But Eddie Howe was not going to play with. It's not going to play with the two. He's already said it on the press conference.
I haven't heard that.
He said it. He when he was asked if there's a possibility that two can play, he answered, like Callum Wilson and Isak, we kind of did the same, but it's not necessarily something I'm willing to do now. He said that in the press conference.
All right. Well,
so,
I missed that then.
And so Eddie Howe is not the type of man that's going to change his formation just like that, man. He did it against Leeds and didn't work out. He just doesn't change it just because. So I don't see that happening. And plus, by the fact that who's the backup? You ain't got no backup. Osula proved that he is now. He's just not.
I'm
good.
saying it's just typical Newcastle. We'll buy a player, Wissa, whose injury record is virtually impeccable, never ever gets injured. He comes to Newcastle and gets injured playing for his bloody country. Michael Owen, anybody?
They were rumored. I don't know. I heard Keith Downey rumored something about an ACL, which it would have been weird for him to just say that. So I'm not sure if he did or not. But no, it wasn't an ACL. Something about 4 to 5 weeks, which is still a long time to see him, because he's gonna be ready by 2 or able to play in 4 to 5 weeks. That doesn't mean he's gonna be ready to play. So that you got to add a week or 2 on top of that. So.
And then by the time he gets fit again, he's off to Africa.
Well, I would assume they're not going to now. I would assume that they're not going to call him, that he's not going to go. I'm assuming that's, first of all, that the club, because he is coming from an injury, I would assume that Wissa would say, at this time, I want to recuperate. I'm not 100% ready. I need to get back in match shape. I'm not going to just jump. I would assume that's going to happen.
Right,
also,
so if he does that, that means he's still not going to be available for us. Because if his argument is that he's not fit enough to play because he's recuperating, it means he can't play for us either.
Yeah,
I cannot see a situation. I cannot see a situation where Wissa would play a game for Newcastle United whilst Congo are playing games in the ACN.
No, I said the next international game will be in a month, so he actually is not even going to be ready anyway. So that's let me see. I'm looking at.
No, I don't think Congo are playing then. They don't play now until the competition starts.
So England doesn't play again until October 9th. So if you go to Congo, national team, they won't play until October 6th. So it's the same. It's just, all international weeks are the same, man. That's why they're. So October 6th, he wouldn't be going back. It's not even. It's less than a month from now, so he wouldn't be going. Even if he's ready, he would say, "I'm not match fit." So it's about coming. It's about coming into an understanding with not him saying, "I don't want to play for the national team," because obviously that's a fine.
I'm talking about starting. Congo's first game in the African Cup of Nations is on the 27th of December.
Yeah, that's a long time though.
It's not that long.
But yeah, December 23rd. And by the way, why are they playing on? They don't believe in Christmas.
27th.
But regardless, we're still gonna have them October. No, for a month there. Well, 2 months maybe if you count October. Really, now you can't really count October because that's when he probably could be back by mid-October somewhere. So you're gonna have the rest of that month, and then you got November. So a month and a half of Wissa, and then he's gonna be off for the.
So when Congo play their first on the very day that Congo play their first game in the African Cup of Nations, we are playing Man United, 27th of December.
Yeah. That's the issue that you get into. And that's why I called during the transfer deadline to make another move for another striker. And I think Larson maybe would have been overkill, or not. It just depends.
Well, no, we've got Walter Mata. We did exactly that. We've got Walter Mata.
No, Walter Mata. There's no doubt about Walter Mata. Walter Mata is the main striker win. Walter Mata is our main striker. Trust me.
Yeah. So you're saying we should have bought a third striker?
We should have bought somebody. And that's a difficult task, but when you get into this situation with the African Cup of Nations, you have to be secure in yourself, or you must say if something goes wrong, like it did now, and like when we lose them in Africa for the African Cup of Nations, we're gonna trust our third striker, and maybe that's the decision. But obviously, we just gotta hope and pray that Walter Mata doesn't get hurt, and you're gonna play Walter Mata a lot of games now. Already, and Eddie Howe after the game, he said, we had to take him out because he was starting to feel a little bit of cramp, and they had a good smiles, good conversation. I'm assuming Eddie was telling him, joking around, congratulating him about his debut, which is good. But all of those mannerisms and actions and body language. When I'm teaching you something else here, all of that. He's the number one. He is the number one, man. I can tell Eddie Howe is seeing. It's like he's seeing one of those big Brazilian meats that roll around and people cut. You know how I look at that in delight and in love. That's how Eddie Howe looks at Walter Mata. So I can tell that he is the one. And quite honestly, this is the time where Walter Mata is gonna have to prove that. And if he scores against Barcelona, for example.
It's funny how Walter Mata came out and said he'd heard about how intense and fast the game was in the Prem, but he hadn't quite appreciated it, and that's why he was tired. He's crumping.
Yeah, a lot of the emotions have to do. The emotions have to do as well, because he knows he has to perform. But Magnus has a good point here. If Gordon not available, I would put Osula on the left wing. For now, Barnes have not been in good shape lately. Well, yeah. I mean, that's something that we don't like, but we haven't taken in consideration is that Gordon might play center forward when Wissa is not available. Oh, come on, man. He's done it with Isak and Wilson, so I mean, it's not like it's anything new.
Nah, but
so,
Eddie must have learned by now that Gordon's no good as a centre forward.
You keep saying that. You keep saying that. But
what I would do is I would have Murphy on the right and Elanga on the left.
Well, he did. He tried that this week. That's another conversation that's interesting. What and the answers will be given on when we play Barcelona, because. Is Murphy the starter, or is Elanga just being safe for the most important game of the two? Although we needed to get 3 points, so we got it, but it could have been a lot worse. The first 2 minutes, Wolves could have got 2 goals, and that would have not been good for Newcastle United at all. So I mean, it is what it is. Barcelona just beat 6-0. Beat Valencia at 6-0. Valencia is a historic club, but they are 16th right now in La Liga, which is it's one of those things. It's like Man United. Well, not to the size of Man United, but you get the point. Like a big club, like West Ham, for example, it would be like West Ham, a big club not performing, and so not much of a fight there. But you got to score 6 goals now, So it's not going to be an easy task. So you got to put the best, all the meat on the grill, all the meat that you got, and again, you can't count on luck, but luck counts, mighty win. And so you gotta be able to put one in. That nice cross though by Murphy, and boy, he shot that
another
over the
assist
table.
already. 1 start, 1 assist.
But he missed a goal too. That was not. If he didn't make that cross,
the keeper had no idea what he was doing. Then the keeper got bang on lucky.
Yeah,
you can't count on luck, but luck counts, and that's what the keeper was there.
Yeah. If you're talking about the keeper, but not Murphy. Murphy should have scored that.
It was instinctive. It came to him quick. He put it. It was on target, right place. It just the keeper got it.
Yeah, that's what you said. But those are the types of plays that count, and that will be the difference between winning or losing.
Absolutely.
And, you got to put them in. You can't just,
But I'm not blaming. If anything, you put it down to a fantastic save.
No, because the goalkeeper was lucky. He wasn't even trying to save it.
The goalie was lucky, exactly. But what I'm saying is Murphy did nothing wrong. He did everything right.
Okay.
Except looking in 2028 saying, oh, well, he should have put it there. He should have put it there. It came to him quick. He banged it hard, on target. The keeper managed to get something in the way.
All right. I got it, man. Hey, listen, it is what it is. Somebody earlier in the chat, Darren was talking about the what is it called? The fantasy league. We don't really run a fantasy league. Just letting you know this, that at the time, Roy was the one that was doing that, but Roy's, got a lot of work and hasn't been able to join much of anything this season. So not sure when he's going to be back, but if he's going to be back, I'm not 100% sure. But he's the one that was running that, and we have no way of doing that. So I think it was Darren Lee asking for that. But we don't. I'm not really into it. Win is not into it.
If you're interested, I don't know if you're in the group chat, but I mean, put a post in the group chat and ask if anybody, and you can put your links into there or whatever.
And listen, I'm sure.
If you get enough people involved, we'll set up a separate group chat for that.
I think a lot of people like that. So if one of the
Amrit's well into that sort of stuff, so he could probably.
So Amrit could start one, and we can go from there. So just ask people around. Don't forget, ladies and gents, the schedule for tonight, 9:30 p.m. NUFC Talk Late Night. Join us with the lads. I don't know what Wynn's got scheduled of who's coming, but regardless, we'll be live tonight. You know what I had put? I had a template for the thumbnail, and I remember we used to be called the NUFC Insiders. Remember that at the time? And I had printed that out with the insiders with no insight. But I had printed that out, and I thought, what the heck? What is that? Is that the Insiders? Man, that was kind of, it made me chuckle because we were, back in the day, the Insiders, man. So top of the league for NUFC Talk TV's weekly predictions is Gary. He has got 7 points. Jamie 7. Ian Fleming 5. You can see the standings on the website NUFCTalk.tv/table, or you can just go to the website and look at the NTTV table there and see your positions. And why do I?
Which by the way is not up to date yet. It hasn't got the Wolves result in yet, but I'll do that straight after the show.
Oh yeah. Make sure that go. Keep Win. As soon as the game is over, start messaging Win left and right. Keep him working because he ain't been doing much of nothing lately. So I see that my prediction is not there. Darren Lee's is not there. But anyways, that should be updated quite rather soon. So go back to that one and go to the website, and you can see it there moving forward. So you can also see the schedules. There's a broadcast schedule there, and you can go and see what we got going on. Of course, always check the YouTube channel. Things might change. Things can always change. Smash the like button, though. Let's talk about what the Craig Hope Confidential here. Newcastle's Saudi-led ownership will delay the announcement of a new stadium or redevelopment. Redevelopment of St. James's Park until after the delivery. They deliver key updates in other areas of the business. Sources have told Mail Sport that the planned order of announcements have been a new chief executive, which would be David Hopkinson, obviously, followed by a sporting director, new training ground, and then a stadium update to tackle those in that order. So Ross Wilson is Forest. Is he still for Forest, or is he on gardening leave? I don't know. But Ross Wilson of Forest is expected to be confirmed as sporting director. Now, this was a decision made before Hopkinson was approved, or sanctioned. So you can also say that that's kind of not how it should have went. It should be Hopkinson appointing a man that he wants, and or maybe he wants him. I don't know. But is expected to be confirmed as sporting director. The word from the Forest end is that he still has a decision to make after talks with Newcastle. But sources have indicated that Wilson is set to take on the role vacated by Paul Mitchell in June. The Scot was always due to see out the transfer window at the city ground. As for new training ground, an offer did go in for one site this year, but the price for the land became too high, and Newcastle walked away. They are now looking at two other sites. This first site was in Gosforth, I think, including the land near Gosforth Park in Puntland or Pontyland. How do you say it? Pontyland. The club has been working with architects Populous on designs, and it is hoped that progress will be made this autumn for that. So, I'm assuming that you wouldn't want the training ground too far away, though. I don't know how the clubs do it.
I'm confused because I was led to believe months ago that unless they're talking about a brand new complex away from where they are now, I thought they were going to develop where they are now because they'd bought the land from the Northumberland FA next door, and I'm sure that was a done deal. They've actually bought the land. Mm-hmm. That was like, probably near enough a year ago.
They try to go
the Blue Flames complex, which
they try to buy something.
FA.
They're trying to buy it, but the land became too high.
Oh well, I thought that was a done deal.
I'm not saying that one in particular, but they did try to buy new land for a new training ground, but that's been obviously too high. I'm not sure which and where, but yeah, that's what's going on, I guess. And the stadium has been put last, to say the least. And I mean, at this point, I'm not sure that people are too worried about the stadium, to be fair. But as for the stadium, Confidential reported in March that a video showing a new home on Lisa's Park had been shown to the owners and stakeholders with a proposed capacity of 65,000. Sources indicated to Mailsport over the summer that there was no reason to challenge that information. So 65, and I remember fans not happy with that. When you were delighted, you rather have a 30,000 stadium because you think that we're not big enough to fill in a proper stadium. But I think we should have gone for 85. I think that's 80. But that should be that's right there would be filled. But they're saying that there was no sources indicating that they should challenge the information of 65K. So that seems accurate from their point. However, it has been stressed that a final decision by PIF is still yet to be made. It was previously due to be revealed in early 25, and it would appear that no update is imminent. The stadium was discussed when Chairman Yasser Al-Rumayyan visited Tyneside last month. It is my feeling, after several conversations in recent months, that a move to a new stadium remains the preference, but it is not without challenges that have to be overcome before a decision is communicated. The club do not want to make an announcement and then be forced to row back on it. It also makes sense for Hopkinson to have involvement in such a landmark development. Discussions, meanwhile, have also taken place on how far they can push the new stadium's capacity closer to 7,000 without negatively impacting the required tension between supply and demand. In the meantime, staying at St. James's Park and expanding to a capacity of around 60,000 remains on the table, although PIF are said to have reservations on the return on investment of this option. So that's what. So PIF seems like they could be being told that we won't. 60,000 is good enough, but PIF doesn't see a good return of investment on that amount of seats. So they would probably like to go higher, but it's all about supply and demand. I'm assuming these are professionals. You would assume they have better numbers. They have all the information to be doubting, to be discussing this. I just do not see how we can't go higher than 70,000. But I would probably be happy with 70, 75. I wouldn't mind that. So what do you make of this? A lot of information to uncover here, but that is the feeling on Newcastle's new stadium. You're
it's
muted.
Down to Leazes Park, isn't it?
There you go.
For the stadium. It's down to and me, it's a no-brainer to just get it done. They just turn around to the CAF. I've said it a million times. You turn around to the council and say, look, if we can't do Leazes Park, we're going out of town with everything that means to the city. It'll kill the city because there's so many businesses who rely on match day revenue to keep them going for 12 months. And they just got to start playing hard. It's not in that armory up to now to play hardball with anybody, including the Premier League, etc. But ROI is the key thing there, isn't it? That's what they're interested in, books. And if they can't get their return on, if they don't think they can get their return on investment by spending, millions on upgrading St. James's Park in its current situation, then the answer is to move lock, stock and barrel to a brand new greenfield site somewhere, build a stadium, build a hotel complex, build in this training ground, women's stadium, the lot, similar to what Man City are doing.
I mean, Man City
Notice Man City are not encountering any planning issues. What a surprise. And they've just got to play hardball.
But
give them the choice. You can either keep Leazes Terrace or you can keep Leazes Park, one or the other, because we cannot expand the ground where it is as long as Leazes Terrace stands in the way, and we can't move it to anywhere within the city without moving on to Leazes Park. Take your pick. Choose your poison. Is what I'd be doing.
If that's still an issue, then the city council are not willing to play. If that's still the issue, I don't know if that's the issue though.
Well, if they're not willing to play, get out of town.
Because everything that I've heard of is that the city council want to be involved, want to do the right thing. But if we're still talking about that, then I mean, I don't understand it. I mean, what is it that they would want if they want to give the land? What is it that they would want that we're not willing to do? Because something is stopping it. If that's the case, if that's the issue, which is like the lease amount or what else? I mean, or maybe money up front. I don't know.
No, I don't think it's anything to do with money.
Well, then something's stopping it.
Yeah,
and if it's
a bunch of tree huggers.
Yeah, but I doubt that that's really though the reason why they haven't gone through. I mean, what they're going to have 2 people march, a protest. I mean, all the crackheads and I just don't see that. I mean, there are a lot of green people. But I don't know.
As I say, it's time to play hardball. That's where that's the thing I'm at.
But I think what I'm reading here, the issue might be as well between 60,000 and 70,000, and the PIF are said to have reservations on the return on investment of this option, going for 60,000. So it looks like they would rather go higher with
I think
more
60,000
seats.
is way too low, but 80,000 is way too high.
But I mean, I don't think so. But that seems to be a bit of a concern there. What's going to be the main decision? So if you think that that's going to be if that's the from what they can say that's the conversation, that's where they're stuck on, then you better believe they're not going to go higher than 70,000, or it might go. I mean, I said 75. We can fill at 75. That people want to go all the time. There's complaints of people go all the time, man. I just do not see how we will struggle to do that.
As I say, that's right now. But then once we become established, which I've got no doubt that we're going to.
But that should happen on every stadium, though. If that's going to happen, that we're established. I just don't. And still, then though, when I just do not see that us being a huge successful club. And all of a sudden, people, we win too much. I'm not bothered to go. I don't see that, man. I just cannot fathom that whatsoever. I just don't know why you.
It's what people can afford. Literally, they've got to decide where to spend their money. And when the new stadium comes, the tickets are not going to be cheap, and people will not be able to afford to go to all the games. They simply won't have the money to do it. So they'll have to choose. And yes, once you get the Champions League, so you'll find that group stages of the Champions League, when it becomes the norm and not something special, which it is right now, because we've been out of it so long that even a group stage match is fantastic. But once that becomes the norm, so once we're playing, Barcelona or Real Madrid or Bayern every year, people will be waiting until we get to once you get the round of 16, the quarterfinals, they'll be sellouts.
Well, you can also add
the League Cup, the Carabao Cup, the early rounds of the FA Cup.
True, but you can also allow.
They'll not sell 80,000 for those.
Well, you can also allow.
People got to decide what to do with their money.
You can also, first of all, allow more away fans. You can add 5,000 more.
But the away fans can't fill that. Look at Saturday with 300 short of capacity because Wolves didn't take up their full entitlement. But because of the way you have to keep the segregation going, Newcastle can't sell those seats that Wolves couldn't sell.
True. I wonder, though, if you can build an option to extend or increase or decrease the size of that, depending on how many tickets they've sold. You see what I'm saying?
Well, they do that anyway, because the away section, match by match, varies. Sometimes they have like 4 sections, sometimes 3 sections,
well, there you
sometimes
go.
2 sections.
But
it's still a full section. One of those sections is that's 1,500 people in one of those sections.
I just don't think that we have an issue filling it up. But I mean, it
does my head in when you announce the crowd figure. Normally just after half time they announce the crowd figure, and I can guess to within 20 almost just by looking at the away and looking around the stadium for the odd gap that there is. You can virtually tell to within 20 what the crowd's going to be.
But also by winning and becoming bigger, it will become more of an attraction, and people will want to come.
Yeah, there'll be more long distance fans.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
one thing,
There will be a lot more season.
Which is another thing that makes it total sense to move out into a brand new complex with hotels. So you're getting they're generating revenue from people coming and staying in the hotel to watch the match. They're generating revenue from all the parking and refreshment facilities all around the ground. They are getting all of that money, and they've seen already from the stack how much money they can make from catering to people who aren't actually in the stadium. And then again, we've got the whole television business, whereby at the minute, because of various rules and regulations, you can't broadcast 3 p.m. kickoffs live. That has got to change sooner or later, and that will then enable them to have, let's say you move the whole stadium out of town, it still enables them to have an enlarged stack, shall we say, showing the match live, populated by entirely Newcastle supporters. So people would flock there because it would obviously be a lot cheaper than buying tickets for the ground.
One thing is for sure,
the commercial opportunities are, they're huge.
Yeah, but they're huge, but not if they build leases though. Because if leases park, you got your area, you build your area, but not to build hotel and million
Well,
stores.
There's plenty of hotels in the town.
But what I'm saying is, well, if they can have their own hotel, trust me, that will get filled up more than more than the rest. Even if they build a hotel right there, people will choose that, just by being Newcastle United's hotel. But they're not going to
do it. You just go and buy an existing hotel, pay a little bit over the top, and rebrand it.
True, that could be as well. But you get the point though. That could be a cool thing to have it attached to the stadium.
This is why Hutchinson's job right now that he's come in, that's his job, is to increase that revenue stream by hook or by crook. And if he's got half a brain, and I'm sure he has, by the way, it's up to him to say, look, it's a no-brainer. We can build a brand new, state-of-the-art, best stadium in the world on a brand new site for a damn sight less than we can convert this one. And the ultimate returns are going to be exponentially more than trying to redevelop this archaic thing that we've got here.
Well, the thing is, if they're going to do what Man City has done, they're going to have to move away. They just have to move away. And quite honestly, people will get over it. As much as it saddens me, people will get over it. They will go to wherever. And somebody was saying, Punt Mags was mentioning the land. I got to start it. So we're going to go to a start comments in a second. But if they got to envision visions of making a stadium and a hotel and stores and all that, which I don't think, for the information that's being shared, that's the thing, that's the vision for it, or else really there's no choice but to move away. They can't do that at Leases Park. They just can't. They could, but they're not. Imagine they're having issues with the stadium.
It'll take longer because for us, what I'm envisaging as well.
You got to get rid of
a metro link to the stadium complex, wherever it may be, which will go to the airport. The airport line as it is now will be extended to wherever the ground is, so you can get, rapid transfer from the city centre to the ground, from the airport to the ground. You can have conference facilities. You can make it an international conference venue, so that you're not just using it on match days. Obviously concerts and such like.
Yeah, we'll see.
This could be why it's taking so long, because the ramifications are massive.
And we're going to get into all of your comments at the end, so stay tuned and keep sending them our way. And let's move on to the next topic, though. What's happening with the new crest? Newcastle will not wear a new crest next season. Confidential reveals that in May, the club went public with their intention to redesign the badge. Maybe you can argue whether that was too soon or not. See, they got to admit that they made a mistake when it comes to announcements, because they said that the stadium was going to be announced early this year, that the club badge, somebody dropped the ball on this whole situation. You can argue that could have been their Neos. But this continues, says in May, the club went public about the redesign of the badge and entered a period of consolidation with supporters, including a workshop. Consultation, including a workshop at St. James's Park. The expectation was that, while too soon for the season, Newcastle's shirt would be adorned with a new crest for the 26-27 campaign. And the league proposed new Newcastle crest will not be ready for next season. However, because of various deadlines involving kit suppliers, Adidas, and Premier League, Mailsport understands that the earliest we will see the redesigned badge on black and white jerseys will be summer of 27. For now, the club will continue to explore the look of the new logo and talk with supporters as per Premier League guidelines on heritage assets such as crests. You can talk all you want to. They're going to have to talk with fans just to not get in trouble legally. But at the end of the day, only they will make the decision. So if you really trust, you give your money away to, for example, Newcastle United's fan trust. Then, when you support that, you pay your do you pay your membership to be part of the Newcastle United's fans trust or whatever? I'm not
in the NUFC team, though. It's too political for me.
There we go. And a lot of people aren't. But if you are and you think, hey, listen, they might
it's all about. For me, it's all about the hierarchy, the NUST hierarchy wanting to be. They want to be another stakeholder. They want to be another stakeholder, and trust me, they're not going to. The club will appease. They just say, There's a couple of them who've got the fans' interests at heart, but most of them are just in it for what they can get themselves.
The club will just say, "Hey man, Neva, I got you, man. I'll get you. Well, you want a new crest? Okay, no worry." But the club will make the decision.
I'm not against the new crest, but I like our current crest. That one there, I love it.
The thing is, with our, well, first of all, the point is Newcastle United are not treated by the fans as another club. Some fans are too attached to things. We've had it really bad.
You can never be too attached.
Hold on. But yeah, you can if you're not willing to see the future. And the thing is, because we've had it bad for a long time, all we can hold on to is just badges, colors, and stadium, and But so a change seems like an insult, which it could be something good for the club, obviously. But I'm not sure with the crest that came out of the blue. I don't see an issue with our crest, but they have to come up with something really good, or else what's the point? If you just put Newcastle's, it's just weird, man. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do, but it's not going to be done anytime soon anyway. I don't have an issue with the crest being changed either, but it just has to be good. And you're going to have to get rid of some things that people hold dear to their heart, which is sometimes, the black and white in the back of the crest, that should stay, but, I don't know. Then you got the seahorses. Some people, all about the seahorses. And Some people have an issue with that. Some people don't. Then you got the England flag. You get rid of that. You know.
Well, did you remember when this came out a few months back when they did this consultation process, and we in the group chat we had loads and loads of ideas, and some of those were fantastic. You know,
some of those, we came out.
So
but
like I say,
but
I'm not intrinsically opposed to change as long as it's someone that's decent. You know, we've always changed the crest from time to time. It's not something new.
yeah,
It's
it's
no
not
big
something new.
deal. But I do particularly like the current one. But I liked all of the other ones as well. I wasn't keen on the NUFC one with the upside down C, but
Yeah.
you know, mainly
that-
they're good.
Yeah, they're gonna have to come up with a new one, but it can't be just too simple, too simple of a crest. Has to. It's just they're gonna have to work a lot on it, and at some point see what they can do. Duke Arthur Series says, "Hi Newcastle fans, I'm a Barcelona fan. See you guys soon. See you there, mate. See you. I can show the thing if you want. If that's what you want to show.
Yeah, that's updated now.
Yeah. Thank you, Queen of Heart. Exactly. You know, because JJ is not a fan of me. That's fine. Chris doesn't respect legacy, history, tradition, and plays. Actually, I do, but you wouldn't know clear from shite anyway. You know, you're just a hater. You hate me, and that's fine. It takes a lot of energy, so I appreciate you put energy on me that way. But I actually do appreciate history. I don't, you know, I love history, and especially Newcastle United, English history, for example, American history. I'm a royalist at heart, so you know, all of that. JJ just speaks nonsense, but thank you, Queen of Heart, because you hit the nail. You hit it right in. You hit it where you're supposed to hit it, which is JJ. He does, but he gives everyone something to think about, and that is called journalism. Exactly. I'm not a journalist, but I try to just use critical thinking. I can't say that changing the crest is something illegal and it goes against the history of it. No, it isn't, because it's changed before and people weren't upset. And a lot of times when this came out, they were going see, this is what's going to happen now. Saudis changed our club. They want to change. It's been changed 5 times, 4 times before, and nobody talked about Saudis doing anything. You know, so what? Because English people get to change it, that means, you know, they're not changing heritage? No, man, it's just, it is what it is. But I do think it needs to be good, or else, trust me, it's going to be an issue with me, with anybody. It has to be looking good. Man City changed their crest, but they kind of kept some things, you know, kept that ship. Kept some things that he had from the past. Although some twats.
Everybody's changed that crest. Arsenal have changed that crest. Leeds have changed that crest. Liverpool have changed that crest. Everybody's done it. Man United have probably had kept theirs the longest of anybody.
Who? Man
United.
Yeah, but it's changed though. But yeah, it's kind of similar. It's kind of kept the same.
It's virtually identical to what it's always been.
So yeah, you know, everybody changes. Again, if it looks good, it looks good. But you know, some fans don't want change, and that's also should be respectable. Let's move on to the tickets. We got a few minutes left. How Newcastle United are fighting back in Barcelona ticket row. Obviously, we've been mentioning this left and right about the situation.
Made the front page of the Scotsman on Sunday.
There you go.
With the Dundee fans kicking back. The Dundee schoolboys kicking back, saying this is ridiculous.
Yeah. It says Newcastle are actively watching over 750 supporters for ticket touting. 750, that's a lot of season ticket holders, actually. Well, that are just selling, possibly.
4,500.
True. So here we go here. After they canceled 45 tickets sold to a private school in Scotland, and for the next week's Champions League opener, Barcelona with Barcelona, there was fury amongst fans this week. Mighty Win led that march. Him and JJ, they led that march. And this week, when it was revealed that the High School of Dundee were offering £295 per pupil packages that included match ticket, travel, and visit to the club shop, evening meal, and accommodation, you can tell they're losing money there. So, or unless they got the tickets really cheap, I doubt it. If a season ticket holder is selling their tickets, trust me, they're charging people. The club insists they knew nothing of the tickets and that the school could not have bought them from an authorized reseller because they do not use any. There has been understandable outrage among supporters, given there were more than 100,000 in the online queue for additional Barcelona tickets this week, although many of those members would have been using multiple devices. Oh, that's in there. There you go. The extra seats sold out in a matter of minutes, but a club spokesman said, who was the spokesman? I don't know who this, but I haven't heard anybody come out. Newcastle United has canceled a number of tickets for the UEFA Champions League match with Barcelona due to a breach of season ticket terms and conditions. The relevant season tickets have also been canceled with immediate effect and without refund. These tickets will be made available to Newcastle United supporters through the club's existing ticket sale process. Supporters who suspect unauthorized reselling are urged to send relevant information to supporters.services at nufc.co.uk. So, man, a lot to unfold there. You were one of the main ones to blame international fans for existing. So you blame Mars being red because of international fans. So it turned out to be nothing but season ticket holders selling their tickets, man. Now you gotta hold your own accountable. When what about season tickets? I told you about it, by the way.
Dead straight. They should lose their tickets. Dead straight. Yeah. I told Gary. Me and Gary talked about this last week. I told him he should have reported to the club the seat number that he paid 180 quid for. That he should have done it.
You told that at the time?
At the time, yeah. That was when he came up for the Spurs game, I think it was, last season. And I said, you've done, because Warner had bought him it for a birthday present, and she'd paid, 200 quid for the package. And that's for a, what would be a,
no, that's a lot of money.
£50 seat. And I said, well, and he was talking to the guy next to him who said, he never got the same person sitting next to him each match. So that's obviously somebody selling their season ticket and they're selling it for profit. Get them out, get a proper fan.
Yeah. I mean, of course they're selling for profit. And it's a shame, really.
Everybody I know who can't make a match for whatever reason. For example, this Saturday, my son Chris was working. So Amrit got Chris's ticket and he paid 50 quid for it, which is exactly the same as Chris pays for it. And every fan that I know who sells that ticket does exactly that. They sell it for face value. And that includes the ones that you got. Obviously, the Platinum Club are dearer. So you got the Platinum Club tickets, which were the 75. And when you sat next to me in Debbie's, the two seats in front of me, you got their seats, you paid 75. That's because I had to pay 75 Platinum. They moved so that you could sit there. They moved to the Platinum Club, so I had to get them the 2 tickets for the Platinum Club. All face value.
Jordan said, wait, Chris's win son? Breaking news, folks. Well, listen, he argues with his son just like me and him, but about other stuff, not about football. So there you go.
Oh, we argue about football all the time. I've got a big W right now with my son because he never rated He never rated Elliot Anderson. So I'm really reaping the. I always did rate him, and me and him had many an argument about how good Elliot Anderson was. And I'm saying, yeah, shows what you know. Stick with your old man, son.
So the ticket situation is it's weird. Look, the season ticket holders saw an opportunity to make money. If it's not right, then they shouldn't do that. There's a lot of things that people do though.
Absolutely wrong.
True. So it's absolutely wrong. I mean, and also taking advantage.
If you can't make a game and you can't, there's nobody in a circle or whatever who you know is a keen fan who wants to go, you give it back to the club. You get your refund off the club, and the club sell it. And
True.
That's the way it should be.
But a lot of people do sell their tickets though. For example, a season ticket holder might have let's just put it a cousin or something that wants to go to the game, and he doesn't want to give it to him. He just want to sell it to what the ticket would be worth. Like say, I don't know,
what it's cost him.
Yeah, 50 quid. Or divide your season ticket amount by
exactly. That's where the amount 50 quid comes from.
That's right, but you can't do that legally. You can't do that. You can't receive money. You can't receive money for a season ticket, man.
Yeah,
you can't receive money to. So then, what's the issue with selling your ticket to a stranger?
Because you have to do it through the family and friends that are on your account.
But we know people that will just say, "Oh, yeah, let me add you to my family, bro. Don't worry, I'll add you to my family." Now you gotta leave somebody else's family, and it's a come on, man. We know when. Come on, now we're too long in the tooth now to know that people do take advantage of the system, and they're not family related. They're not husband and wife, cousin, sister. No, some of them are friends. Some of them are just mates. All right,
that's man. Why it's friends and family.
But you don't think that's never happened where somebody that just knows somebody's friend that's a season ticket holder.
What I'm saying is season ticket. If that has happened, there's nothing wrong with that happening. What is wrong is if the season ticket holder is making money off that transaction. That is what's wrong.
But they still make money off that transaction, though. Again, if I don't know, so you say you got a friend that there's a season ticket holder, right? You got a friend that I've never met in my life. He's not my friend, but I need a ticket. You would say, in this particular case, hey, I have a mate that has a season ticket. Maybe he won't go, and you just pay him what the ticket's worth. He's not my friend. He's not my family, but I'm getting a ticket, and I'm paying him for it. So it is the same.
As long as the way my take on this is,
okay, yeah.
As long as the season ticket holder is not financially benefiting from transferring the ticket, that's okay.
But he might be financially, because you
what
don't
I'm
know
saying
what
is, if he is, he wants reprimanding. He wants action taken.
But the thing is, we're going to get into a point where the club might just say season tickets are not transferable unless you can prove immediate family members by proving, certificate
a whole new.
Hey, no, because you can say you got to prove your immediate family members proven by birth certificate or something where it says your father, your mother, and that's the only ones you can transfer.
Imagine
I'm saying
that for 100,000 for 100 what is it now? 140,000 members.
The club doesn't have to put any effort to it. You just got to put it out, upload your documents, or else. And trust me, the 100 and something thousand will do it. No, it's not even 100,000 season tickets, man. This is like 50.
No, I'm talking members. Because you have to be a member to have a ticket transferred to you. You have to be a member.
What I'm saying is that the season ticket holder that's transferring that would have to do that. And if your name is obviously in that list, other people wouldn't have to do that. Only the season ticket holders, because they're the ones transferring. But you see, when you start getting in this business of doing everything immaculate, it's a can of worms, man. It's a can of worms.
What I'm saying is, if it can be proven that somebody is transferring a season ticket for financial gain, they should lose their season ticket.
Well, a lot of people did lose their season tickets.
Well, I hope.
I wonder if they're available now, or when are they going to wait and to sell them? They probably already sold those tickets, quite honestly, because I'm assuming people are waiting for them.
Yeah. They would just go to next in line on the system.
But last time
the unlucky people who originally tried to buy them. That's the way I would think that would work. We have talked to the club, and they told us there's no list. There's no such thing as a list. Remember that. So I don't know how that. Regardless, those people lost their tickets, and that is that. Quickly, last but not least, we didn't go through everything here, but we might do it later on. There's your.
But nobody can read that. So there you go. Now you go. There you go. Now they can. No. So that is the updated.
Gary and Jamie at the top on 7. Ian Fleming, good old Maud, Ben and Levi, Harry Austin. Harry was the only one on Saturday to get the 1-0 correct scoreline.
Yeah.
Scrolling down.
Let me go with some comments here as we go. There we go. You can also visit the website, NUFCtalk.tv, and go see yourself there.
Jonathan Shaw didn't put in a forecast.
Didn't put a prediction.
Again, and Leonard Butler didn't put in a prediction again, as he hasn't done. Paid his money and hasn't put a single prediction in yet. Oh, well, Leonard, I don't know who you are. I can't. I've tried to get in touch with you by various means, and I'm unable to do so.
All right, comments here. Sam A, damn 4 weeks. I guess it could be worse. Kenny about Wissa injury. Kenny W, talk about being robbed on shirts. What are we talking about here? The shirt's too expensive or something? I have not bought this season's shirt.
Actually, good old Alessandro Manetti put a comment in before that I started, because the main reason that they want to change the crest is because the current one is far too complicated.
Well,
it means that the shirt manufacturers are spending a lot more money on the crest than they would like to, and that obviously becomes more profitable if the crest is easier to produce, to manufacture. Then you make more money off your shirt if the production cost is less. And that's the problem with the current crest, that it's too complicated.
Guys, it says injured before he's even kicked the ball for us. We are knackered, it says, guys.
It's typical Newcastle, isn't it? We sign a player with a fantastic injury record. He comes to join us before he's even kicked the ball for us, goes and plays for his country and gets cropped.
Darren Lee, I know I keep banging on, but there we go. We talked about that one. Darren Lee says here, Liverpool got lucky, 4 wins in a row, and helped by the ref. 4 games they played poor in and somehow got wins. Yep,
that's the way you win titles.
Trevor Arco says,
can't count on luck, but luck counts.
But luck counts, that's right. Trevor says, Jacob 2 weeks, then 1 week intensely needed preseason belated schedule. The same 3 weeks, Wissa went to 2 weeks as above. Trevor from Thailand. So there you go. Shout out to you, Trevor. Cheers. Let me go more comments here. Magnus says, if Gordon not available, put a soul up. We read that one. Mr. Battle Red, Chris, what times are the Champions League for you in the U.S.? Well, it depends. We're 6 hours behind you, so whatever that would be minus
2
6.
p.m.
I think this one is 2 p.m. for me. Yeah, usually 2 p.m. later in the day. So, by the way, on RCM Football this weekend, we're going to have, I forgot what game was that? I'm going to get it in a minute. So you can, because we're going to start again, continue to broadcast the Premier League there. So, Man United Chelsea, I think is going to be this Saturday. Good game. Man United Chelsea. Well, good game on paper, but it's going to be a hunting at the zoo for Chelsea, I would assume. So, anyway, Travis Ferrari. Lamine is a major doubt for Thursday. That's true. Foxy, very brave, trusting win with his dodgy scoring. Exactly. Darren says 75 stadium with an option to increase to 90,000. Whoa, that's a lot. Jody Dan, what's taking the time with the leases planning permission? If Newcastle City Council does not allow it to go through, there will be hell on. Goodbye, the local labor council in Newcastle, etc. Yeah. Pond Mags, Win is absolutely right. Just need to gently threaten to move out of town, and the petition will be quickly ignored.
Yeah.
Guys, all they have to do is build a new green or for the locals when St. James's
Green
Park
area,
is demolished.
I think.
A new green area for the locals when St. James's Park is demolished. There could be put there. Jordy Dan, 80K is perfect. Did we see the numbers in the Barca ballot? Yeah, there was a lot of people there for that game in particular. But we got to see. Yeah, I think over 100 and something thousand. But if the people are using multiple devices,
it peaked that, I think. But again, you got to realize that a lot of people there would have been on multiple devices.
Pontyland and all the land by the A696 would be easy to build there. How far is that from where they're at?
Well, you've got Bullock Steads backing onto Woolsington Park, and Bullock Steads is the current Newcastle University sports ground, and that's only 4 mile, three and a half.
That's not bad there. That's not bad at all. Yeah. That could be an option. James Scoff says,
and it's already on the metro lane.
James Scoff, I work in the engineering industry, and massive projects like this take years in the planning and consultation phase. Even if this phase started the day we were taken over, we still might not have got the relevant permissions yet. Trust in the Rubin brothers. They're very experienced with developments like this. Spurs new stadium started playing in 2007. Oh, man.
But we've also got Richard or Peter Thornton on board now, on the board, who is the South Shields property developer who's dealt with all of the Tyne and Weir councils for years, planning departments for years. So I'm pretty sure that's why they brought him on board, because he knows all the ins and outs.
Is there the same away allocation given every game at Newcastle? Well, different, I guess, between the club sizes that we're playing. So, anyways, that is that for some of the comments there. Don't forget to subscribe. We will be live later on tonight, 9:30 p.m. with the late night show. So stay tuned. Join us. The panel will be there. We'll discuss the game of the weekend and what's to come for Newcastle United and all latest news. So join us later on tonight. As for now, we got to go. Thank you very much. Indeed, all of you, smash the like button on your way out.
We're the lads.
The lasses and the bands and the old twats too. There you go. Everybody included. And this goodbye from him.
You see, you take some remembrance.
I'm not used to that. That's not my mojo. That's not my thing. Anyways, folks, cheers. We'll see you on the next one.